Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on this Tuesday morning. Amy Olsen going to join us tomorrow, and the Schuh golfing legend, LPGA. She'll be joining us tomorrow on the show. Also, Bison Media Zone, Jeff Kolpak will be with us tomorrow. We'll chat plenty more on the Bison Colorado game moving to Thursday night. Speaking of football, first of its kind happening this weekend out at Shields Arena, as the Fargo Gridiron Classic will come on Saturday, which will feature two indoor football league teams playing at Shields Arena. And I would say, maybe my words, a test run to potentially get a franchise here in Fargo. Our pleasure to welcome on Greg Schuh from the Dakota Bucks, who joins us here on this Tuesday morning, the organizer of this event. Greg, thanks for doing this. Tell me about the genesis of this and what's the goal? What are we hoping for to happen on Saturday?
Well, thanks for having me on. We're pretty excited to bring, indoor football at the professional level to Fargo. So, the Bucks here in North Dakota, we've been dormant the past year and a half and trying to, work on establishing where we want to position and put the team for 2025 is our goal. And we wanted to, put this game on and host it in Fargo along with the great people at Shields Arena and introduce the indoor football game to the fans in the area and, gauge the interest and let everybody see the product firsthand.
So I want to say 2016, correct me if I'm wrong, is when Bismarck got the Bucks franchise. I know from seeing it that the fan excitement was there at the start. What was that like, I guess, getting into the market, and what have you seen it grow over the last 7-8 years?
Well, the league has grown, substantially, has added quite a few teams. I mean, we're currently at 16 teams this year. They're projected 18 next year. The sport has grown as well. In fact, the IFL is the longest indoor football league in the country. So, it started out in Bismarck and, they had a good following early on, and then they had some ownership changes that took place. And I came on board in 2022 and, things went pretty well. Obviously, there was the COVID years that didn't go. We felt like after our lease ran out at the Bismarck Event Center that it was a good opportunity for us to look at, possibly other markets that might be better suited for the team and for, the fans. That's when we started to look at a couple of different areas, Fargo being the front runner.
Sioux Falls and Massachusetts are going to play on Saturday. So is this the best way to describe it, Greg? It's a test run to see what the interest is to potentially pull this off and maybe move the franchise to Fargo?
Yes. I mean, that's certainly, one of the intentions here is to get a test run over in that area and let the fans see the product firsthand, what they think about indoor football at the pro level. So and the facility there is fantastic, and I've been over there now on and off for the last 3 months, and the folks in Fargo are, the sponsorship support's been really great, and for all intents purposes, we think we're going to have a good product there and a home run.
So for people that don't know, give us the season. When do you play, and how would you schedule that around when the Force are there?
Yeah, so that's been a topic of conversation with the facility and then with other facilities that we have visited with in the state. Obviously, hockey's pretty popular all around North Dakota, especially in Fargo and Grand Forks area. So the season starts typically around the middle of March, but you can back that off a little bit based on your facility availability dates. And other teams in the market do go up against hockey teams. So we've had the discussion, and it's something where we could literally start our home games around, April. And that way the Fargo Force season would be on its tail end other than playoffs. So we could work around that with the home dates, but then the season runs through the summer till the end of July with playoffs being in August.
I look at the map here, Greg. The league goes from California. You mentioned in Massachusetts. Obviously, there's a team in Iowa. Green Bay's got a team. Of course, Frisco's got a team because Frisco always has something going on in Texas. Is the scope of this even bigger than I think that people even know? I didn't know that, frankly, before you came on. I had no idea the league was that big.
Right. Well, that's been a little bit of my challenge, the past couple months being in Fargo and talking to businesses in the area and, some corporate sponsors, is the education of the league, of the game itself, because a lot of people aren't familiar with it. Some of the older people do remember the arena football, right?
Yes.
The old AFL and the AFL2. And that's kind of how everything started back in the early 80s. And we're the same type of football, right? Same, pretty close to same rules. So, so it's a bit of a challenge to educate everybody, but it is a big league from coast to coast, and we are expanding. And Fargo actually fits well in the footprint with Green Bay and several teams in Iowa, right? And you got a team down in Tulsa. Indianapolis is a new team coming in next year as well. So,
what is the rule configuration? How long is for people that don't know or maybe never seen the Arena Football League? How long is the football field and our quarter structure, all of that?
Right. So it's so basically, we put the actual turf down around the dasher boards, right, which will remain in there, but the glass comes out. Yep. So, 50 yards in length. And, similar somewhat to NFL rules, the goalposts are a little bit narrower. There is no punting during the game, right? Only extra points and field goal attempts. I would say that, it's about a 60% pass, 40% run, maybe a little bit more pass. But it is very fast and very quick and very hard hitting because you are in a confined space, right? So, the end zones are, about the same depth. But then, once the players get tackled or crashed into the walls with the pads, that's a stoppage of play.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The exposure for the league, are you guys on television? I know you have a streaming deal. Where can people find the games if they wanted to go watch?
So on the IFL is, has a huge website, goifl.com. And you can go into the streaming. The games are streamed on YouTube, and all of the games each week are on the IFL website through YouTube, so that you can follow any of your teams you like or players, right, that play each week. So,
do you have in your mind, or the organizers of this, a certain attendance number to say, okay, this proves we can do this to get it on Saturday? Do you have a number set?
Well, we'd like to see 4,000 at the facility. That's kind of the number I have in mind, which I feel would be really good. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on, but the actual ticket prices for an IFL game is extremely reasonable and cheaper than a lot of other entertainment. So, for people that do like to go to events like this, whether it be football or baseball, there's a lot of things going on during the game, right? A lot of fan interaction, a lot of excitement, music, contests, all of that's wrapped around an indoor football game. So I think everybody's going to have a good time.
Do you have a date in mind? Like, okay, if it goes well, what's the next step after that?
So, once we put on the game and have an opportunity to visit with Shields Arena and gauge, what, their thoughts were on how everything went, then, the Bucks organization, we will meet with the ownership group and, discuss the timeline of, is this what we want to do, right? Do we want to play at a couple of different locations next year or focus on just one location like Fargo? And then from there, put a date in mind of when to go. So the league, has their championship game in Vegas every year in August. And then typically the league meetings go along with that. And at that time, they're going to want to know a commitment from the Bucks. So
that's the time. So the next couple months is going to pretty much they're going to determine if this is going to happen or not then.
Right. And then all the teams have to submit dates for 2025 for their playing venues in October, 1st of October. So yeah, everybody has to decide you're in or holding off. So, but yeah, over the summer, we'll make our decisions over the summer.
Is it nerve-wracking for Saturday? Like you're putting a lot into the pot here to make this pay off. What are the emotions surrounding this for Saturday night?
It is, I there's anticipation, right? And would like to have the game and see how things go. But it is different to literally pick up and put a game with a football field in one location that we haven't played in before.
Right.
Right. For one day, one game. So basically we literally have to set up like it's an entire season, but just for one game, which makes it kind of challenging.
Well, the fan base around here for sports is crazy. I am really intrigued to see what this is for Saturday night. I would love to see it happen. I like indoor football. It'd be fantastic if it's able to come to fruition. I really appreciate the time, and thanks for giving us the info today, and good luck on Saturday night, okay?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on, and yeah, we're looking forward to Saturday.
Greg Schuh, the Dakota Bucks general manager, joining us here this morning. Again, the game is on Saturday night at Shields Arena between the Sioux Falls Storm and the Massachusetts Pirates, 7 o'clock at Shields Arena. And again, I'll default to Eric here. Did you know there was a team in Green Bay? I did not know that there was a. Okay, where do they play? Where is that? Okay, so they play in the USHL. Okay, so much like the Force, they play at a hockey arena there. I mean, this league has some of the best nicknames I've seen in a while. You've got, well, the Iowa Barnstormers are still there, the Quad City Steamwheelers, the San Antonio Gunslingers, the Tucson Sugar Skulls. That's pretty good. Let's see. The Sioux Falls Storm, Massachusetts Pirates, Vegas Nighthawks. That's not bad. Jacksonville Sharks. You mentioned the Green Bay Blizzard. Yeah, that's a little bit of the Duke City Gladiators. I don't know where they're at. Frisco is the Fighters, the Northern Arizona Wranglers. So I'd be interested. There's been off-season leagues that have tried here, whether it be semi-professional through the years that faded after a while. The one deal against this is that when they play, the season starts and has nothing to do with the Force. It has everything to do with the weather. The season begins the middle of March, and at that point, people are aching to get outside. And the season runs. The final week of the regular season is July 20th. That, to me, would be tough, especially the Redhawks are playing. If I have an opportunity to want to be indoors at Shields Arena or outside at Newman Outdoor Field, I think I know what I'm picking. Unless the allure of that's the real tough spot about running into this part of the country. I don't know. Eric can tell me. I don't know if the Green Bay team draws well or not. I don't know, but I don't know if they run in the same weather constraints that we have here. That would be my biggest drawback on it. Like, people want to be outside that time of year. They don't want to be inside. I'll be interested to see what the attendance is on Saturday night for this thing. We'll take our final break. We come back. We got uniform rankings to do, and we'll get you set up for a busy Sports Tuesday, including Game 2 for the Wolves and the Suns. Hot Mike will wrap right after this.